Hey everyone, welcome back to a new Wizard101 video. We are very close to the launch of the next test realm. And we got a new teaser today. There was a teaser that was released a couple days ago that I didn't talk about, so we'll be talking about that as well. But it's getting close. It doesn't feel like it's that close to me, but then I look at the date and I see October 10th already, and I realize things are moving along. We're getting there. It's coming up really fast. So going off of previous years, well, I'm only going to go off really last year because that's when Empyrea Part 1 came out, so it kind of makes sense for Part 2 to come around maybe the same time if they're on like the same schedule as last year. But Part 1 Test Realm came out on October 18th, and that was a Wednesday in 2017. So Wednesdays seem like they have a high likelihood of Test Realms coming out. I don't know why. They just in the past have released it on Wednesdays, so it kind of makes sense. Today is a Wednesday, but it's the 10th, so I feel like that's a little early for us to get a test realm. But maybe next week, maybe next Wednesday, a week from today, we could be seeing a test realm come out. I don't know. That would be October 17th. Kind of seems like there's a decent chance that it could be coming out within, the next week or so. Like next week, I feel like there's a good chance. Like there's a high chance. Could come out this week. I don't know. It's up to them when they want to release it. But we've got a couple of teasers, which when they start doing the teasers like more frequently, it's getting close. But first teaser I want to look at is one from like 5 days ago, I think. And this one, I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. This one shows some ships that are going to be in part 2. And we already knew that the world, or the parts of the world, involves like kind of the sky, something to do with stuff being in the air, because aeroplanes, all that stuff. So we have aeroplanes here, even though they don't look like planes. They're basically aero ships that we have, and I'm sure that these are used either to be transported from one area to another in the sky, or maybe they're just kind of flown around for fun. It'd be kind of cool if there's like a sequence of our wizard going on one of these, or just going on one of these like Pirate 101 style and battling people on them, because I don't know how big they are. Maybe they're kind of small, but there could be bigger ones out there. So we get a first glimpse at what kind of the transportation that the people are going to be using in the aeroplanes and other areas. So maybe some like Pirate 101 vibes going on with part 2 and these aero ships. I don't know what they're called. There's no official name for it. They just gave us the picture, the concept art of it, and that's it. So we'll see how it kind of integrates into the world of Empyrea Part 2 in the skies, because it's kind of similar to Pirate, right? If there's going to be stuff like in the sky, and maybe be cool if we could like go from one island to another island on one of these, or battle on one of these, something like that. So that's my kind of idea for this ship that was revealed. Okay, I'm way more excited for this second teaser than I was for the first one, and this one came out today. So here it is on the screen. This is the new concept art of a creature that is going to be in part 2. And when I saw this morning, I was really excited, because this guy looks awesome. Like, just look at him. He's got like a creepy vibe to him. He's a mushroom man. He's a fun guy. So I saw this and I was starting to think like how this would, how they would place this into the world of Empyrea Part 2. Like, you can't just put this guy anywhere. He's a mushroom. Like, he's literally a mushroom guy, and he has to kind of fit in with a certain area. So they definitely didn't want to show off any kind of background, like any area where he is. So they just kind of put like the gray and white background. So looking at this guy, I would say that he roams around a area that's kind of like it'd be a foresty area, kind of like this. That's why I'm in aerial jungle, because it's kind of like a similar area to this, but I hope it's a lot different in its own way. But it'd be kind of a foresty area, but I also want the area to include like a lot more mushrooms, because there's mushrooms here, some like small ones, but I want this to be like a huge like mushroom kind of forest or something like that. That's what I really wanted when I saw this. I was like, okay, are we gonna get like a mushroom area with just like huge overgrown mushrooms, kind of like you see in the movies, like Alice in Wonderland has a part with all that. So something like that is what I want to see. I want to see like a mushroom area, a mushroom like forest where this guy is walking around. and I can see it in my head. I just hope that that's actually what it is. It could just be a regular like forest or something, but it also has some mushrooms. But I feel like that one, like a huge forest of like giant mushrooms, and like we have these mushroom creatures, could actually make sense. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. But there's another hint given out by Matt, one of the developers on Twitter, and he was like, what do you think the school or schools of this new mob is going to be? So if it's schools, that's got me thinking it's probably going to be life and death, right? Because life, since it's a living like mushroom, like it's a living thing, but death because, I mean, look at it. Look at its face. Maybe it's an undead mushroom. Like, we got a zombie mushroom guy here that is walking around. So that could kind of tie into the story a little bit. Like maybe something's happened to this forest, and it also could lead into the idea of this is where the death and life chain is. Because in part 1, the only chain we got was the fire and ice chain. That was it. We didn't get any other chain, and there's supposed to be 3. So that means one or both of the remaining chains are going to have to be in part 2. And if this guy is in there and he's life and death, then that means he's probably in the area where the life and death chain is. And it's kind of a maybe we have the storm and myth chain is in the air, like where the aero ships and all that stuff is going to be, the aeroplanes. Maybe in that kind of area is where the storm and myth chain is, and then we go, or maybe we go to this one first. I don't know the order, but then we could go to like a kind of a swamp. I don't know if it doesn't have to be a swamp though. It'd just be like a foresty area that has these kind of creatures, and that's where the life and death chain is. So that's just kind of my initial like idea, just going off of like 2 images from part 2 and trying to guess. But this image right here is the biggest hint at what we're gonna get in part 2. So potential life and death enemy or boss. Could be a boss if it's like dual school. Maybe there's dual school minions as well, like enemies, mobs. So we could see that as well. But yeah, that's just my initial idea of what I got from seeing this. I wanted to look at Aerial Jungle because it's probably the closest that we're gonna get to this right now, even though I hope it looks way different. I hope it's a mushroom forest. I actually have a picture. I was looking around on Google, and I have a picture of what I think I would like it to look like. This is not a teaser or anything. This is literally just me Googling mushroom forest, like fantasy setting, and I found this. I thought it looked really cool. So something like this, where it's just like you have the overgrown mushrooms. Maybe there could be little houses and stuff too, because it could be actual people that live there. I don't know. Or maybe it's all mushroom people. I have no clue. But there's probably some other creatures that live there as well. And just kind of like a foresty mushroom area. And I feel like that would be really cool. So that's kind of what I want to see. Maybe there's like a good area and like a overgrown kind of tainted area where the like undead mushroom guy is. Something like that. But yeah, that's just like my idea for it. This isn't a teaser. This is just me like looking into it and like being like, I want to see this. So I think that's really cool. Like, this is one of the best teasers that we've gotten so far for part 2. Maybe we'll get more teasers as we get closer to the release date of Test Realm, which we don't even know the release date. I just feel like it's going to be coming out in the next week or 2. So there you go. That is my ideas for these 2 teasers that we got. I'm excited for it. And part 2 is looking like it's going to be really interesting. Like, if we already got this detailed of a character for part 2, I'm excited to see the other ones. I'm excited to see all the NPCs and all the different mobs and bosses that they put into it, because it's shaping up to be pretty cool. I'm really excited to see this area now. Like, after seeing this character, I want to see the rest of it. But that's what we got so far. But that's all we got so far. So just a couple teasers, and we also had the part 3 anniversary video, and that's basically it. We've got some hints here and there, but nothing really too big. Like, we've never seen any area in part 2 yet. We've only seen the NPC. We've seen a mob. We've seen some concept art of the ships, and that's basically it. So nothing really substantial yet. I mean, I think the biggest thing was this guy, this mushroom guy. So Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like on it. Just theorizing what we could see in part 2 from some teasers. I'm sure we'll get at least 1 or 2 more before Test Room actually comes out. So fingers crossed it's next week. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you all next time.